Hello everyone, it's Panzerkampf here. Welcome back to another Steel Aces video. Thankfully, on Sunday, I managed to get into the Steel Aces beta test. And this is basically going to be a video of me summing up my opinions, my thoughts about the game, and how eventually it'll stack against this competition. So I'm just going to get straight into this. What did I think of the actual beta test? Now, personally, from the experience that I found the beta test to be absolutely brilliant. I had no issues with the beta crashing or any other gameplay issues themselves. The game ran very smoothly on quite a high FPS with some pretty decent graphics for a beta test as well. I will hand it that. Um, what I really enjoyed as well is I enjoyed how it incorporates both elements from World of Tanks and from War Thunder, and it allows for the game to have a more balanced approach and allows it to cater to kind of the arcade enjoyers as well as the realistic enjoyers as well. And what I mean by that is obviously you can see on the screen you've got hit points here. That's inspired by World of Tanks, and when you're in combat, there are no armor penetration indicators. So you've got that realistic aspect as well, where you have to learn an opponent's weak points. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do anything to them. As well as this, the game has, as we can see on the screen there, has internal modules, and each of these takes damage. So if you were to hit the gunner, you'd kill the gunner and deal additional damage as well as that penetration. As you just seen there, we hit the commander, who is the who's also the gunner in the R15, I believe. And yeah, we dealt additional damage to our standard penetration damage. And that's something that I really enjoy because it is unique to this game and nothing else. Another thing that I found to be very, very fun with this game is actually the low tiers. Now, in World of Tanks, we know low tier gameplay isn't exactly as exhilarating as it used to be due to the changes made to the game. In War Thunder, it can still be pretty fun, but low tier in this game was honestly some of the most fun that I've had on a tank game in a while. And that's because of the versatility and the variety of vehicles that are in low tier. Um, Currently, I was playing in the R15. It's supposed to be a light tank, but honestly, it has the armor of a heavy tank at tier 2, and it has quite a nice gun as well. There are other tanks as well. There's a Panzer III, which is kind of an all-rounder tank. As you can see just in front of us, there's a T-35. A T-35 is not a tank that's honestly commonly explored in arcade games because it has many turrets and doesn't have the best armor. But in Steel Aces, all of the individual turrets on the tank actually work. They're actually functional, and you can use each of the guns. And by having this wide plethora of vehicles at low tier, it allows for different people with different play styles to choose their own unique tank and then progress with that one. And another thing that I enjoyed in this game was the lack of artillery, because we all know artillery is broken and is unfair. Another good point about the game was the map design. Now, on this map, it felt pretty unique because at the part I'm on, it's a city, and that means a lot of close proximity combat. And then on the other side of the map and in the center, there's a lot of hilly and mountainous terrain. So if you were in an American tank, that'd be great for you to utilize. Um, Vice versa, if you were in a heavy tank like a Tiger 1 or an IS2, then obviously going to the city would be a great idea for yourself. There's another map that was in the beta as well. There were only two maps, which I don't have any problems with. The other map was a desert map, which kind of promoted more long range fighting. So it's kind of more for the lighter vehicles and the tank destroyers. But yeah, I found the maps to be pretty unique in their own ways, a lot different from Wolf and Down World of Tanks. So yeah, that was another plus for me. The final plus for me, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is the aiming RNG. Now, personally, I expected this to be quite poor because I've never been a big fan of RNG. However, I thought the RNG in the game was extremely fair and quite balanced. There were no examples of shots like completely, going out the direction to where they should have been going. Of course, some shots would deviate from their intended target and miss weak points or whatnot, but You know, that's the way the game is, and I thought that was okay, in all honesty. The only thing that I didn't quite enjoy about the beta, and this is something that I know they're already improving, is the movement of the tanks. Sometimes when traveling forwards and then trying to turn one direction, say to the right, your tank would continue to move forwards whilst also turning right when your finger is removed from the W key. So I'm sure they're going to sort that out. That was kind of my only gripe, was the movement and kind of the difficulty in turning some of the vehicles. Um, I think the German tanks were significantly harder to kind of turn than the others. So whether or not this is an intended design feature, I'm not sure, but I found like the Russian tanks and American tanks are far easier to rotate and turn around than the German tanks. And that's not because I was playing the heavy German tanks. Even with lighter vehicles like the Panzer III and the Panzer IV, I had some difficulties in turning them around, especially when it comes to rotating them on the spot. But I hope they improve that for the next beta test. So to summarize, honestly, I would give this beta test a solid 9 out of 10. It was extremely fun, incorporated the good elements from World of Tanks and War Thunder, and put their own unique twist on it. And I really believe that both the player bases from World of Tanks and War Thunder can enjoy this game when it is released in early 2026 or late 2025. It'll be one of the two. But yeah, I would definitely keep your eyes on this game, everyone. I've got some more content that I've recorded as well, which will be kind of commentary style um, over some games that I recorded in the mouse and then in the VK 45.02p. Absolute mouthful. But yeah, I will see you in those videos. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. As always, I've been Panzer and have a great day.